Hey guys, and welcome back to another C++ tutorial. In this video we are going to create a simple console application where we will be doing the Fibonacci series of numbers. So what Fibonacci series of numbers is, basically the next term is equal to the first term plus the second term. So basically if we're looking to calculate term 3, we'll add up term 1 and term 2 to give you term 3. If we're looking for term 4, we'll be adding up term 2 and term 3. Okay, so that's how Fibonacci works. So I created a simple console application using classes, and this is how it works. We prompt the user to enter a number of terms. I'll just enter 10, and this is our Fibonacci series of numbers. We have, so our first term is 0, then we have 1, third term is equal to the first term plus the second term, and it goes on like that. So let's dive right in. And before we get started guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so that you can be notified when we drop more awesome videos like this. So let's get it started. So guys, I'm in Visual Studio and I just created a empty console application. So we're gonna start by removing all of these comments and renaming this CPP file to main.cpp. I'll remove this line of code here, and now we can get started. So the first thing we want to do is we want to prompt the user to enter a number of terms. So we can do that quickly by creating a variable and initializing that variable to 0. Then we can prompt the user to say enter the number of terms, and I'll just leave a line. Then what we want to do is we want to store this value into the variable we just created. So I'll do that. Okay, now it's time to create our classes. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the source files folder, we'll right click and we'll go to add, and we're going to create a new item. We're going to create a header first, and we're going to name this header, we'll call it Fibonacci.h, and we need one more file, which is our CPP file. That's where our implementation is going to be. So we can say Fibonacci.cpp, and we'll just add those two files. So we'll go into our header file and we'll just create our new class, and I'm going to rename this to Fibonacci, and I'll just get rid of my default constructor and my destructor for now. And what we're going to need is we're going to need some variables. We're going to need a term 1 variable, we're going to need a term 2 variable, and we're going to need a next term variable. So I'll do that quickly. I'll say in term 1, and we'll initialize that to 0. I need a in term 2, and we'll initialize that to 1 because the second number in the series we know it's 1. Lastly, I need a next term variable, and we'll initialize this to 0. Then we're going to need a function to calculate or to do all of these calculations for us. So we can create this function and we can just call it generate Fibonacci, and it's going to take in an int variable. We'll just get rid of this private ones for now, and then we can just do a control dot and say create definition in our CPP. Then we can head over to our CPP file, and you see it created the function for us. Okay, so now we can get started with our implementation. So we want to take in an int num, and the first thing we're going to do is we want to loop through, or we want to display however many terms in this Fibonacci series as the user gives us. So if the user inputs 10, we want to only display 10 terms. So we can just do a quick for loop, and then we can just say int I is equal to 1 because we want to start from the first term, and we'll just say I is less than or equal. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a check to see if the first number is equal to 1, and we want to display out term 1, which we defined already. And then I'll just leave a line, and I just need to include the iOS stream. Okay, then we want to do another check and say else if I is equal to the second number, then we want to display the term 2 that we defined already, and I'll just leave a line. Lastly, we want to say the next term is equal to term 1 plus term 2. Now in order to move to the next number, right, so just to explain this to you, right, we have term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, and term 5, right? Just say we're looking for term 5 eventually. So term 1 is equal to 0, and we know term 2 is equal to 1. So now we're looking for term 3. So this will be equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. Now term 1 becomes, t1 becomes 1 and t2 becomes 1. So term, this is your next term now, right? That's what we're looking for. So the next term is going to be equal to 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now this number becomes term 1 and this number becomes term 2, and this becomes the next term, what we're looking for. So that's going to be equal to term 1, which is 1, plus term 2, which is 2, and term 5 is now going to be equal to 3. Okay, so I just hope you guys understand that. So this is what we're going to be doing now. So now we're going to say term 1 is now equal to term 2, and term 2 is now equal to the next term. So that's how we keep it moving. Alright, then we just want to display the next term, so we can do that, and we'll just leave a line, and this function is now complete. Now we can head over to our main function, and we can just create an instance of our class. So we can just say Fibonacci, and obviously we need to include that in here. So we'll say include and Fibonacci. There you go, and we'll create an instance of this class, and we'll just call it Fibo. And now we can use all of the functions from this class. So we can say Fibo dot, and our function is called generate Fibonacci, and obviously it needs to take in a int value, and that int value is num. We'll close that off, get rid of this white space, and we can just build our program. Okay, so everything built nicely. Let's run it, and here you see enter the number of terms. I'm gonna enter 10 and hit enter, and there you see it. That's our Fibonacci series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. I really wanted to share this application with you guys. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.